Hello.
Hello.
Hello beautiful people and Merry Christmas. As a small gift from me to you for being with me this past year and a gift to my bengal Mando, I'm going to turn this old beat up dresser that I got for £20 from a flea market into a very cool and unique cat penthouse. Enjoy. This is my most requested video and I'm very excited that I can finally make this. I started by taking the fronts off the drawers so Mando would have more space on the inside to move around, but it would still look like the dresser it was. I left the bottom drawer as it was because I will need it later. When I was done cutting, I sanded the drawer fronts because I'm going to refinish them and I want them to look nice. This bottom drawer, I'm not going to take it apart, I'm just going to clean it because I will use it for storage. Because this drawer is disgusting inside and this is not going to clean well. I just reused bottom from one of the other drawers that I don't need. And I'm just gonna pop it inside and Bob's your uncle. But I will clean it a little bit first. I'm going to sand this a little bit, but not to make it pretty, but to get rid of the varnish so it's not slippery and that I can attach things to it, because that's my plan. I've never made cat furniture and I don't really know how to make it. I'm completely winging the whole thing, but I do have an idea in my head. I want to combine all the things that Mando likes the most and I want to make it as cozy as possible. I started this project yesterday, which means the day before Christmas, and I worked a lot to complete this on time because I wanted you guys to have something nice to watch, because I know many of you will be home with families and, you know, this is just a thank you from me for all your support this past year. There is some woodworm damage, so I'm gonna spray this just to be safe. I'm going to use this piece of plywood to make a cushioned shelf that Mando can sit or sleep on, and I will only do it for the middle drawer, so there is double drawer size opening for him to move around on the inside. I think I'm gonna change my mind, because if I do 2 levels, that's not gonna give a lot of space for my cat, so I think I would rather just do the bottom one and have this whole opening. I think that's better. But what I will do, because I'm going to cut a hole in here and in here to create a tunnel, and I'll make a little shelf over here so he can step on it before he goes out. I think the top door, I'm just going to install magnets so I can take it out if I need to. But this one, I think I'm gonna put hinges in so I can open it and create extra space, kind of like a balcony type of thing. So that's what I did. I used my chisel and I cut out little notches for the hinges to sit in, and I installed them. I will install magnets in here so this will stay in place, and this one will be held by magnets only. So I want this to stay like this when I open it, so Mando can come out this way, and I think I'm just gonna install these eyelet thingies and I'll connect them with a piece of rope or a chain so it will stop when I open it. So I'm using whatever I have available. I'm trying not to buy extra things because I've got so much stuff. And I think this will actually be much better option than magnets because I know that this is not gonna let go. And because Mando will have one hole over here and one over there, there's no worry about him getting stuck inside. So I think this is what I'm gonna do. Though I think, knowing Mando, he would probably find a way out even if I try to get him stuck inside. This fancy looking rope is just an example of something I bought and I don't remember why, so I used it as support for the door thingy. So now I'm going to drill a hole for the exit. I'm also going to drill one over here. I didn't actually do a lot of talking on camera because I was just so focused on what I was doing. I didn't really have a clear plan and I was just flying by the seat of my pants. But I must say that this is my favorite type of thing to do, when I can just create and go with the flow and just don't really know what the outcome is going to look like. But I guess because I was filming it, I knew that you guys were gonna watch it, so I was hoping that it would look decent. If you want your holes to be nice and round and perfect, this is definitely not how you do it, but I'm going to cover them with fabric, so it doesn't really matter if they're not exactly perfect. I'm making progress on my cat penthouse. And this is actually a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this. This was in the back because this is the original support for the mirror, but I'm not sure if this is too low. I think I'm gonna build something a bit taller. I've got these very old, I think Victorian. I think this is part of a bed frame. I found it in a pile of rubbish and I've got only two of them. They are pretty beat up, but I think I might use them instead of this. So this is all part of the old bed frame. And as you can see, it's in a pretty rough condition, but this is how the bed frame was assembled. So I think I'm going to cut this off and keep the rest of it. I'm guessing this is shellac because this is old. I don't know if this is Victorian or it isn't, but I'm just going to use acetone to remove the top coat and it will be much easier to sand it. This has a beautiful inlaid wood. I didn't even realize how pretty this is. Someone put some serious work into this. I'm using this piece of tape so I know where to drill holes in those pole thingies. And also this way they will be exactly in the same place on both of them. The drill bit broke and got stuck in one of them, so I had to drill another one. And now I'm going to make something that Mando can sleep on. It's something between a bed and a hammock, whatever. You will see what it is when I'm finished, but I'm just using this flexible ruler to create a bow or an arch type of shape. And this is just a template, so I can make two pieces that look identical, and then I will connect them with dowels, and that will create the frame. This is just another thing that I'm winging. I don't have any sketched up plan or anything. I basically just eyeballed the size of Mando and how much space I need between those poles, and that's how I'm making this. And now I'm basically just transferring the shape of this template onto a thicker piece of wood that will be part of the frame, and I'm gonna use my bandsaw just to roughly cut it out and then send it to the final shape. I'm actually going to sand it, not sand it, just to be clear. Sometimes when I listen back to my voiceovers, I'm like, this literally makes no sense. There is no audio in this part of the video because my mic decided to stop working for whatever reason, but obviously I'll explain what's happening. I sanded both pieces so they were nice and clean because this is basically what it's gonna look like. I'm not going to stain it, just apply wax probably. And then I drilled some holes that I was going to use to connect these pieces to the dowels. And 4 holes were small, just enough for the screws to go through. And 4 of them were much larger. They were exactly the same diameter as the dowel, but they were only half of the thickness of those pieces. Wow, it only took me like 10 attempts to record this explanation. And I'm pretty sure that it still doesn't make any sense to you. Anyhow, somehow I managed to finish this, and because it's cold, I moved everything to my house. I need to make sure this is square. I've got an extra hole because my drill bit broke and it's stuck inside. But how beautiful these are. Mando is going to have a really posh penthouse. I don't know why, but those pole thingies make me think of a castle. So I've attached the post thingies, whatever you want to call them, and this is the frame for the hammock. I engraved Mando's name on it, and I just need to sew the fabric together, and this is going to be suspended over here. I'm gonna go with this. It's just a blanket, and I have another blanket that's white and looks kind of like fur, but I think this is more suitable because it's cheetah print. So this is the idea, and to make it a bit softer, I'm going to stick this inside and probably sew it in so it doesn't move. I've got the little cushion thing, and I'm just going to close this. I think this will help because yeah, it will just stay together and it's not gonna move around, so I'll just do it on the other side so it looks even, and Bob's your uncle. There's no reason to overthink this, so I'm just going to put these hooks in here, and this will hold the back side of the hammock and the front will be suspended on a piece of rope. I put everything together and I use smaller pieces of string just to tie those larger pieces of rope together and just make it look tidy. I've got this old rug that's got a big stain on it, and Mando really likes doing this sort of thing on this, so I'm gonna cover this dresser with this, is it jute or ute or whatever you call this rug, because he really likes it, and it's gonna give him something to put his claws in when he wants to jump on it or just, you know, sharpen his claws. Apologies if the lighting isn't perfect, but I don't normally film in my living room, so I'm just using all sorts of lights. To attach the rug to the dresser, I used hot glue gun and a bunch of staples. And to finish it off, I used a thicker piece of rope just to give it a nice edge and also to cover those pieces of wood on the front of the dresser that surround the drawers. And because this is cat furniture, this will just give Mando extra surface to put his claws in and something to scratch. And what cat doesn't like to scratch? I really like the way this looks. Obviously this is not your typical piece of furniture, this is for my cat, so it needs to be kind of cool and unusual. I don't know what to call this. but I think it looks like cat furniture. If that's even a thing, but if it isn't, I guess I've just invented cat furniture. I don't know what's the best way of doing what I'm doing now, but looks like whatever I did worked. Alright, on to the next bit. So this is the middle shelf, and I'm just gonna make it extra cushy, and I added a layer of wadding, I think that's what you call it, and I'm gonna cover it with the same fabric that I used for the hammock. Now I'm just putting the fabric on the inside to make it nice and cozy. So today is Christmas Day morning and I'm trying to finish this project because this was kind of a last minute idea and I really wanted to get this video out. So you have it for Christmas, and I also wanted to get this done for Mando so he can enjoy it on Christmas. Talking about Mando, there he is meowing. Looks like Mando is already enjoying his new penthouse. I really like the fact that he kind of blends in with the pattern of this fabric. But before he can fully enjoy this, there is still some work to do, so let's finish it. This is probably very difficult to see, but I'm using the edge from the blanket to trim this opening so it just looks nice and tidy. This is going to be storage for toys and snacks. I've added this shelf so he can step on this on his way out. And now I'm gonna add some extra bits on the inside, and I'll put some wax on the wooden parts just because I don't want to add any lacquer and things like that because it's for my cat, so beeswax will be the safest. This small light has motion sensor and it has automatic mode, or you can turn it on and off, and you can also make it brighter and dimmer. I hidden small metal plate behind the blanket and I can just put it on and take it out if I need to recharge it. This will come on when Mando goes inside, and then when he's asleep it will just turn itself off so he won't be bothered by the light. Now I'm going to add these magnet catches so I can put this in and take it out if I need to. If I decide that I want to make this open on hinges like this one, I can do it later, but I don't think I'll need to. I've got the magnets installed. Now I'm just going to use beeswax on the wooden bits just to make them look pretty, because you know it is furniture even if it's for a cat. I've got the handles in my workshop. I gave them a little bit of color and I cleaned them up, and I'm going to install them in a minute as soon as I'm done waxing. I've always enjoyed making things that are a bit different and unique, so this was a lot of fun, and I guess otherwise I wouldn't be able to make this in 2 days. That's Mando's helping hand. This is definitely all the help I'm gonna get from him. And let's be honest, what kind of penthouse is it without a big TV? I know this might be a bit crazy, but Mando actually really enjoys watching YouTube videos, sometimes woodworking, sometimes mice. Mando, don't spoil the review. Obviously, he needs to have lots of toys. And because I'm a woodworker, he's got a wooden one and he really likes this one. And let's decorate the inside as well. And I guess a tiny house needs a tiny Christmas tree. The last thing left to do is to reinstall the handles, which I refinished. Are you ready to play in your new penthouse? Don't forget about the goods. Alright, now don't use it all at once. Mando is mesmerized by the mouse video. And he is loving this penthouse. I'm so happy with the result, and I'm very happy that he likes it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've made this over the last 2 days because I wanted to get this out to you for Christmas. I just wanted to wish you Merry Christmas and thank you for all your support and for watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next one.